And we have a screenshot, which is awesome. Hello, Kobuman. Well, let's see for first what it says here. Microsoft Teams sign in, sign out in error. Sign in error. Outlook plugin for Outlook 2016. Yeah, let's see. Did we get another? Aha, looks like Waleed responded here. It says, yeah, it's some kind of network issue, but it's a pretty rare issue, but still occurs. Yeah, that's what I suspected. Thanks, Waleed. Man, this is real time, guys. Real time. Awesome. Awesome. I have Microsoft Teams plugin installed on my computer with Office 2016. Recently, when I tried to create Teams meeting in calendar tab at bottom of Outlook. Okay. When I click on calendar tab in Outlook bottom and click new Teams meeting to create a new meeting, gives me an error. Sorry, you need to sign out of Teams and sign back in before you can schedule your meeting. If problem persists, please contact your support team. I have tried running a repair in Office 365, but it did not fix the issue. I have tried signing in, but it gives me the same error. Let's look at the error here. So he's trying to use this plugin that is for Microsoft Teams that's embedded into Outlook. Sorry, you need to sign out of Teams and sign in again before you can schedule your meeting again. If the problem persists, please contact your support team, just like you said. All right, so this is a big problem. This is a big problem with plugins. Every time you try to use a plugin that's integrated into another software, especially if it's a third-party plugin, they can be finicky and they can cause problems. Now in this case, it clearly tells you whenever he tries to click on the calendar and click on new team meeting to create a meeting, it gives him an error. So every time he tries to use it, basically, it gives him an error. So it's at this point it's useless. It's unusable, and it tells him you need to sign out of Teams and sign in again before you can schedule your meeting. So what this clearly says here as well is that you're signed in somewhere else, most likely. Now, I don't know if this to be the case, but that's the main thing that comes to my mind, is that maybe you're signed in somewhere else into Teams. And you're not necessarily signed into Teams application itself, but maybe other Office 365 product, because it uses the same sign-in. So if you use your cell phone, your smartphone, to access anything that's related to Office 365 or using this specific login, then you might want to make sure that you're not logged in on other devices, into Office 365. That's the first thing I would check, mainly because this error tells you to, right? This error tells you to. We can't ignore that. We can't go about trying other things unless we try this first and make sure 100% that that's the case, which could be happening. I've seen issues where people log into multiple computers and suddenly they're starting to have weird issues like this. Now, other thing you can do is flush any old data. Well, I know you said you tried to repair Outlook, and that's fine. But have you tried to reinstall the plugin for Teams? That could also be another thing. Now, I don't know for sure how these plugins are installed for Outlook like this, but what you generally see when it comes to to plugins and computer data is that it will create a cached folder of settings, documents, and things that it uses while you're using the computer, which can also include the plugins that you're using. So what I suggest next is that you go to users folder and look for your login. In my case, it's Kobuman. Go to app data, go to local, go to Microsoft, and look in here to see if there are any folders related to that plugin. If you see Teams plugin or Outlook folder or anything like that. So what you can do is go in here and flush this data. And the way you do it is simply, and let's just pick any of these. Well, let's do something else because I don't want to delete anything that's Microsoft to cause problems. But you can pick anything here, like this Citrix here. This Citrix is a plugin for your computer, and its data is stored in here. And if I want to flush it, reinstall it, I would just rename this folder. Don't delete it, just rename it, and then try it again. This is going to reinstall and push or install new configuration data, files, cached files, and this and that in there. And same thing could be done for other programs like WebEx, Google, anything that's being used. Now, just be careful. Make sure that you found the correct one. If it says Teams plugin, then go ahead and give it a shot. And the reason I said rename it is because you can always go back and restore that. You can always restore that. So if it's not working, if it's still broken or something else is broken, go back, rename it back to what it was, and delete the new one that was created, because it will create a new folder in here. So you'll have two Citrixes, Citrix 1, Citrix 2, or whatever it names. But if you have Citrix old, and then it's just going to create another one that's called Citrix, which will be the new folder. That's just an example. But that's how I would go about this and see if I can. Now, Microsoft likes to install things different places, like in here. Look at this. Packages, like if you're, for example, looking for sticky notes, they will be here. The application for sticky notes might be here, like this in here somewhere. So Microsoft likes to put different things in different places. So just be careful, look around, make sure you find the correct one, and give that a shot, see if that works. Otherwise, you may have a wrong version of the plugin, or something is incompatible and causing the problem. But yeah, first thing first, I'm going to say this. Hello, Javier. Please try steps below. Log out of any used Office 365 applications. Okay. Number 2, repair plugin only if possible. Number 3, flush app data from app data folder. For example, C users login ID, whatever it is that you use for your computer. App data. I'm going to say this: flush old settings / data from app, for example, and look for folder used by that plugin and or Outlook. Sorry guys, I don't have Outlook installed per se. The one I showed you earlier is not a real Outlook. It's just some kind of pseudo thing. And step 4, what did I say for step 4? Was there a step 4? Oh yeah. Make sure the correct, make sure that, I guess, a compatible version of Teams plugin is used. I'm getting really tired here. Okay. Please let me know if that worked.